Take one look at the shopping aisle or any famous anti-dandruff commercial and they'll show how an itchy, flaky scalp transforms into a head full of shiny, bouncy hair. If you suffer from dandruff, you might have noticed flakes falling off every time you scratch your head. It might get really embarrassing, especially if you have dark hair or if you're wearing dark colored clothes, as those tiny flakes become very prominent and are easily seen in your hair and head or on your shoulders. Many people believe that dandruff is caused by poor hygiene. But this is not true. In today's video, I'm going to debunk some myths and give you some tips and tricks so that you can take the best care and manage your itchy, flaky scalp. Hello and hi once again. I'm Dr. Sanober Doctor, fondly known as Mrs. Doctor. I'm a board certified dermatologist, and on this channel we discuss skincare, hair care and holistic health. So if this is something of interest to you, make sure you are subscribed and hit the bell icon so that you do not miss any new video that gets uploaded. Now let's dive into all things dandruff and the itchy scalp. First, let us understand what do we exactly mean by dandruff. Dandruff is a common condition of the scalp where small pieces of dry skin flake off. In my How to Create a Skincare Routine for Yourself Step by Step, I had explained how the skin cycles. Skin cells are born at the lowermost layer. They divide and mature while rising to the surface and then fall off once they are dead. Now imagine the same process occurring over your scalp. If there is any inflammation or infection that interferes with this normal process, it can lead to the buildup of dead skin cells, which then accumulate over the scalp and then fall off. So I want you to think of dandruff more like a sign rather than a disease. Now that we've understood what dandruff is, let us understand how will it present. You'll mainly experience two things: itching and white flakes over the scalp. Very rarely, or if you have really severe dandruff and you really itch a lot, can you experience slight bleeding or see bleeding points on the scalp. But this is not normal or typical. If you see bleeding points on the scalp, then it should turn on your warning antenna immediately, because it means that what you're dealing with is something more than your normal usual dandruff. Slight bleeding or itching is very commonly seen in scalp conditions like scalp psoriasis and a few others that we will discuss later on. But this is something that I want you to keep in mind, as many people who have scalp psoriasis commonly think that it is dandruff, and by the time they come in for treatment, it becomes a little too late and difficult to actually get rid of the disease. Alright? So now we know what is dandruff and how does it present, and this is very important to first identify what you are dealing with so that then we can move to the next step, which is management. I actually made this video because I had a lot of interactions recently where I had a lot of people come in with dandruff and other scalp conditions who had tried certain home remedies, certain oils that they had seen, but nothing had worked. And this is because some of them were actually dealing with dandruff but just needed some additional guidance and help, and some were actually having other scalp conditions like scalp psoriasis that we discussed a few minutes ago. So what I realized was either they were using the wrong remedy or they were dealing with an entirely different condition altogether. And perhaps you're in the same boat as well. Maybe you've tried something but it was just not enough to get rid of it entirely. If you have suffered from itchy, flaky skin, you know exactly what I'm speaking about. Another thing that I want to address is I see a lot of these DIY oils being propagated that will get rid of dandruff overnight or things like that. Now all this is fine and it has its own place. In fact, I have a very simple and effective oil recipe that I will share in the next video. But it does not involve 10 ingredients or laborious work, I promise. So that is something to watch out for if you're looking for something like that. But I find oiling and home remedies are effective if you combine them with other forms of treatment, like correcting your body constitution, eating supportive foods and nourishing from within, using the right products and using the products in the right way. If you check the anti-dandruff section of the shopping aisle, you will notice that there are tons of options to choose from. So I want you to be aware about certain ingredients to look out for so that you know which is the right product for you to choose. The different active ingredients that can be helpful, especially for an itchy, flaky scalp, include zinc pyrithione, salicylic acid, sulfur, selenium sulfide, ketoconazole, and coal tar preparations. Now each of these ingredients has a different role to play, and which one to choose from will depend upon what type of dandruff are you suffering from. This is why your dermatologist will be your best guide, as he or she will look under the tiny stethoscope or dermatoscope and guide you you towards products that are best suited for you. But if you're sure you're suffering from just plain mild dandruff and you want to try something yourself first, then my recommendation will be to try using a shampoo containing at least 2% ketoconazole and salicylic acid separately to wash your scalp. Ketoconazole will take care of any fungal overgrowth, if any, and salicylic acid will help get rid of those excess dead skin cells that are building up over the scalp. You'll also find zinc pyrithione being used very commonly in anti-dandruff shampoos. It is an antifungal and an antimicrobial agent that works very well when combined with other active ingredients. So instead of choosing shampoos that contain only zinc, try choosing shampoos that contain other active ingredients as well so that you can get the best results. You may even need to switch between different types of shampoos if one is able to control your dandruff at first but later loses its effectiveness. But I have seen if we use a combination of other treatments and correct the disorder from within by taking care of any imbalances within the body and so on, you do not need to use any anti-dandruff shampoos or any medicated remedies on a continuous basis. And there are a lot many other nuances that you need to look into. But to start with, I want you to understand and detect, is it really dandruff or is it some other condition that you're dealing with? Like just looking at the type of flake will give you a clue. Are the flakes mild and fine? Or are they big and coarse? Does the itching and flakiness increase during the winter months? Are there any bleeding points over the scalp if you feel itchy and subsequently itch? Do you have any red raised lesions over the rest of your body? Do you get any relief if you use an anti-dandruff medicated shampoo, or does it remain as it is? As I mentioned before, apart from these, you will also have to correct any inflammation or imbalances that are occurring within the body. I hope you were able to get some idea, because dandruff is a very common condition and I get a lot of questions about this on a repeated basis. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Remember, I cannot give personal medical advice, but I can guide you so that you can make the best decision for yourself and your health. As always, continue to glow, thrive and shine. Take care. I'll see you soon.